All right, so let's continue. We are continuing reading the book of Esther, and today we are going to look at Esther chapter 7. I am Rachel Hunt, and I love Bible discussions, Bible stories, Bible scriptures, anything to do with the Bible. And today we're looking at reading Esther chapter 7. If you're new to this channel, I would encourage you to go back through the playlist and read from Esther's 1 to 6, because what I'm really trying to do here on this channel, especially with the different books of the Bible, is to get a full understanding of what the account is about. All right, and Esther is a wonderful, wonderful story, and we're coming down to Esther chapter 7. So if you have not looked at the previous videos, I encourage you to do so and then read along with me. We're looking at Esther chapter 7. I will be reading through. I may stop to give commentary or backstory every once in a while, and then you can post your questions or comments in the comment section, and let's discuss the Bible together. All right, so we are going to get started, and I'm using the New International Version just because I think it is an easier version to read. You can use whichever version that you are comfortable with. We will talk about different Bible versions at some point and why there are so many different versions and which ones are more reliable. But the New International Version is fine as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let's jump in. Esther chapter 7. So the king and Haman went to Queen Esther's banquet. And as they were drinking wine on the second day, the king again asked, Queen Esther, what is your petition? It will be given you. What is your request? Even up to half the kingdom, it will be granted. Then Queen Esther answered, if I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, grant me my life. This is my petition. And to spare my people, this is my request. For I and my people have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated. If we had merely been sold as male and female slaves, I would have kept quiet, because no such distress would justify disturbing the king. King Xerxes asked Queen Esther, who is he and where is he, the man who has dared to do such a thing? Esther answered, an adversary, an enemy, this vile Haman. Then Haman was terrified before the king and queen. The king got up in a rage, left his wine, and went out into the palace garden. But Haman, realizing that the king had already decided his fate, stayed behind to beg Queen Esther for his life. Just as the king returned from the palace garden to the banquet hall, Haman was falling on the couch where Esther was reclining. The king exclaimed, will he even molest the queen while she is with me in the house? As soon as the word left the king's mouth, it covered Haman's face. Then Habborana, one of the eunuchs attending to the king, said, a pole reaching to a height of 50 cubits stands by Haman's house. He had it set up for Mordecai, who spoke up to help the king. The king said, impale him on it. So they impaled Haman on the pole he had set up for Mordecai. Then the king's fury subsided. So we see here that the person who was trying to kill Mordecai, he was plotting against Mordecai for no good reason, ended up with the exact same fate that he had in store for Mordecai. This is a very, very interesting story. It's a very powerful account of how God can save his people, of how when we stand up for God, God will stand up for us. And we see that Mordecai did not want to bow before Haman because he knew that he was supposed to only bow before God. And Haman, he was prideful, he was jealous, he was spiteful, and he plotted evil against Mordecai for no good reason. But God had a plan, and he used Esther. He put Esther just in the right place so that Esther can go before the king and she could petition for her people. And she went with courage and bravery and wisdom. And we see that the king would have protected her, and by extension, her people, which were the children of God, the Jews, the children of Israel, same people, right? So it's very, very interesting. And again, I would encourage you to go back to the first couple of chapters, read them through so that you can follow through with the story. All right, so join us next time as we continue Bible discussions. And remember, put your questions or comments in the comment section so that we can discuss the Bible together. All right, see you next time.